Begin this half hour with Syria. Today, President Obama is expected to meet with his top foreign policy advisors to discuss their military options as Syrian and Russian aircraft continue to pummel Aleppo. However, some top U.S. officials consider it unlikely that Obama will order strikes on Syrian government targets. Joining us right now is retired Army Lieutenant Colonel and author of The Damned of Petersburg, Ralph Peters. Good to see you, Colonel. Thanks so much for joining us.
Morning, Maria.
Your reaction to what's happening today, what is the biggest danger in this situation now?
Well, the biggest danger is actually that Obama tries to get another middle-of-the-road, get-off-cheap solution. If he tries to act in Syria, and the Russians and Putin lives up to his promise to shoot down American aircraft if we take action, I'm afraid that Obama would fold, that he just would absolutely just give up, and that would be absolutely devastating. So at the meeting today with his top advisors, Obama's real question is, what's the least I can do here? And the danger is, again, trying to find that weak middle ground. You're better off doing either nothing or going full bore and facing down the Russians. But trying to, as Obama always does, to modulate and get a nice answer in between that doesn't hurt anybody, that is the gravest danger, because Putin would eat us up.
You know, it's pretty incredible what Russia has been able to do.
Yes.
You know, they inserted themselves in this conflict in response to what was a crumbling economy as oil prices were plummeting. They went into Crimea. And, you know, Gary Kasparov has been on the show a number of times, James Freeman, and basically said, look, this guy, Vladimir Putin, needs to trade. That's his currency, war.
Right.
You know, so he needs to look like a big guy in front of the Russians, and this is how to do it. And now he's gone direct in conflict with the U.S.
And it's interesting, now that we're in this political season, all of a sudden the administration, Hillary Clinton, they care about Russia, or they're concerned about Russia. It seems like this has been years, Colonel, where there's a history here of the United States not responding when Putin has been going into Ukraine, Crimea, I mean, and now here he is in Syria.
Well, Putin, again, he's playing this weak hand so absolutely brilliantly and bluffing us, but he's got a willing tool in Barack Obama. And Obama is so weak and has been so trusting of Putin, so trusting of his ability to charm, that we have Putin's country. It's a bankrupt country filled with AIDS, tuberculosis, and failure, 11 time zones of nothing, a military that's got a core that's pretty competent, but the greater military is incompetent, and Russia's cleaning our clocks. And, you know, Putin is also not just using the military aggressively in Ukraine, of course, and Syria, but he knows how to use subversion. He knows how to use threats. He knows how to bribe. And that's a real art form, the way he's bribed European political parties. And now, tragically, we've got one presidential candidate associated with a failed Russian policy and another presidential candidate who's got a man crush on Vladimir Putin. God help us all. You know?
Is that really the political solution? Because, Colonel, it's Dagan, by the way, what happens when the next president takes office? Because, again, you can't continue to ignore a growing, grave threat, can you?
Well, the sad thing is you can. You can ignore it for a long time until you get World War II. I mean, it's stunning to me that Obama, who pretends to be a humanitarian, who imagines he's a humanitarian, has watched this slaughter of up to 500,000 people literally without lifting a finger. But Obama, the key to understanding him, and Putin understands it, is Obama is a fearful man. He doesn't think about what we can do to change things. Rather, he thinks about what might happen if we try to take any action at all. He takes counsel of his fears. And it's a travesty that the greatest superpower on earth, that admittedly cannot do everything, under Obama has not done anything.
Well, I mean, how much do you think this has to do with his legacy, though? I mean, he ran as Obama with the O as the little peace sign on the bumper stickers. Remember that? Didn't really turn out that way.
Well, no, it didn't. But of course it has to do with his legacy. But also, I think, and frankly, I've used this word before, it has to do with cowardice. Moral cowardice and physical cowardice. I am not a believer that everything has a military solution. I'm not a bomb them to the ends of the earth kind of guy. But if you use our military, when it is appropriate, when you are compelled to send our forces abroad, you've got to use them decisively. You've got to mean it. You've got to want to win. Otherwise, you squander American lives. And I think, you've heard for many years that, oh, the American people are tired of war. The American people are tired of having their sons and daughters' lives wasted for political mediocrity.